Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares. Welcome back to Wild Eye Week, Day 5. Today we're going to be talking about Frightvision. But before I get into my review, I wanted to take the time to thank Wild Eye for sending me the screener to review for you guys. They have an awesome company. They are definitely where it's at with independent horror. I'm going to put the links to their YouTube channel and their official website in the description box below. Definitely check them out. Frightvision is a 2020 film, which runs 102 minutes, and it's also an anthology. I love anthologies. Okay, this anthology has 5 segments and a wraparound. I'm going to talk about the wraparound last because it was my least favorite, but we're going to get right into the segments. Segment 1 is called In Anus, which is all spelled as one word. Oh boy. Now this is written, produced, edited, and directed by Selena D. This stars Mindy Glickerson and Jolene Hex. Now this is about 2 women in the adult film industry who basically practice Satanism and are trying to break in to the big leagues, per se. One girl is just about there. The other girl is practically brand new. That's all I can say about that one. I gave this one a 6. I enjoyed it, and I thought it had a pretty clever twist. Okay, segment 2 is called Skeleville. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Now this is written, produced, edited, and directed by John Ward. And it stars Gotham McFadden and Mike Anthony O'Brien. This one I thought was really cool. Now I gave this one an 8. This is a science fiction horror about an asteroid that lands in Nevada, Las Vegas. And these people that live in a hotel year-round and work in Nevada are turning into skeletons after coming in contact with a green mist that is released from the asteroid. That's where I have to leave it. You do have some character development in this one, and I had a blast with this. Like I said, I gave this one an 8. Segment 3 is called Chewed. Now, this is written and directed by Mike Treblelock, and it stars Monica Meyer and John Migliori. Now, this is about a woman who wants revenge on the man or the men who killed her family. It starts out in a jungle, and a man and woman are they're kind of like Soldier of Fortunes, kind of. And they go into this cave and they find something that is demonic. And it spares the girl, kills the guy, and she goes back to get revenge on the, not mafia, kind of like the rich men who had her family killed. I gave that one a 7. It was decent. It was kind of funny in parts, and I liked the special effects. Segment 4 was a real fun one. It's called Alan Has Some Time to Kill. This was edited and directed by Brad Twigg, and I usually like his stuff. This stars Rick Germain and Kat Mathis. Okay, Alan calls a prostitute and wants this prostitute for 2 hours. He's a lonely guy, and he ends up getting the prostitute in the room, but not before the pimp comes up and kind of looks him over first and kind of lays out the rules that you can basically do whatever you want to her, but if I don't get her back in the same shape that she came to you, we're going to have a problem. Well, Alan accidentally kills the prostitute while having sex with her. And she talks with Alan while she's dead. It's hysterically funny. I had a blast with this movie, with this segment. It was a lot of fun. And the last segment is called Aximus Ii Bloodslay. Now, this is written and directed by John Ward, and it stars Ashley Campbell and Drew Marwick. This one's a slasher about a killer Santa Claus in a storage facility. And it's also about a girl who survived the last encounter, which I'm assuming would be Aximus I, which we don't see that. But she also has PTSD from this encounter with the killer Santa Claus. And I'm going to leave it there. This was actually my favorite, and I gave it an 8.5. Imagine that, my favorite being a slasher segment. Now, this is from Fuzzy Monkey Films, and it's distributed by Wild Eye. Now, Fuzzy Monkey Films and I have a little bit of a history, so we kind of come from the same area. And I've met several of the people from Fuzzy Monkey and going to Monster Manias in years past, and I bought a lot of their stuff. So it was really good to see them doing another anthology, because I love their anthologies. That's where we got Wrestle Massacre, and that's where we got Frames of Fear 1 and 2. Brutality was released by Wild Eye under their Raw and Extreme label, but that's actually Frames of Fear 2, I believe. It's just, they're just a up-and-coming company in the Maryland area that I think they're going to go places. I gave this anthology as a whole a 7.5. I really enjoyed it. I think you will too. The one thing I did want to talk about is the wraparound. Now, this is a girl who is kind of doing the whole Elvira thing, and the wraparound is called Frightvision. This is written, edited, and directed by Rebecca Reinhart, and it stars Rebecca Reinhart. Let me turn this around so you can see kind of what I'm referring to as Dr. Bubenstein. Yeah. She definitely fits the bill. But the problem I had with this, I gave this one a 6. The problem I had with the wraparound is they should have had more of a background for her. She's basically just sitting in front of a tarp, more or less. And she tried doing this like Russian voice, which as she's going through, because she announces the different segments, as she's announcing these segments, she loses her accent several times. So I think they kind of should have scrapped that, because it kind of got on my nerves after a while. But, you know, all in all, she's very pleasant to look at. And, you know, she doesn't have a whole lot of camera time, so it's easy to kind of overlook the wraparound. It's basically just to introduce the next segments. So, like I said, I gave this one a 7.5. It's definitely worth a watch. I really enjoyed it. Another special thank you to Wild Eye, and if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.